Live from the Drew Estate Cigar Studios in the great state of New Hampshire, the Gurkha Cigar Studios in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, and from beautiful Indian Trail, North Carolina. Welcome to the Spare Notes series with your hosts, Matt Tabacco, Kevin Acuff, and William Cooper.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Spare Notes series. My name is Matt Tabacco from SmokingTobacco.com and from cigar-coop.com. I got it right. See? Make sure. There's a hyphen in there. You got to make sure you spell it right.
Yep.
It's from North Carolina. It is Mr. William Cooper, media legend.
What's going on?
Nah, I was gonna go for another one. I couldn't think of something unique enough, because if I'm gonna do it, I don't want to be like, oh, the greatest, like I'm trying to think of a good one.
Yeah,
like
I don't know. There's not one. Nah, I'm just another person.
Maybe like the Matt LaFleur or like the Bill Parcells. I don't know.
not a lot of my floor. I mean, I haven't flopped.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, we're here. Kevin is not with us. He is he's off tonight.
Miss Kevin, man. I know he's been busy, but we miss him. Yeah.
I know we miss him too.
Yep.
But hopefully he'll be back. He'll kind of
Yep.
get his thing going again, and
Yep. I know he's got a lot going on right now out in the fabulous Las Vegas. So.
Yeah, fabulous Las Vegas, which is having record temps right now. It's insane.
Yep.
Insane
Yep.
in the membrane.
Yep.
Insane. You got no brain. Sorry. Just finishing up some pre-production stuff. But anyway, we're here. Welcome to the show. It's been a few weeks, but we're here, and we're getting ready to cut and light, which is always exciting. I'm excited to smoke this cigar. I've been thinking about this for a while. I have 3 left, and well, now I have 2. So this one's cut. It's getting lit. So now I'm down to 2. But Coop, what are you smoking tonight? What do you got?
I got a Las Calaveras 2023 edition.
Shut the fuck up.
Yep.
You're smoking a Las Calaveras?
Yeah.
Well, buckle up and get ready. You're in for a show tonight. I am smoking 2014 Las Calaveras.
Wow, we did not plan this, guys.
So I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we did not talk about this, actually.
Oh my god.
No. Yeah, no, this wasn't planned. I can tell you. The only thing that was we had Miguel Chodell on
Pepsi.
Yeah, I got Diet Pepsi because Coke's out. Miguel Chodell was on the show Thursday night, and I had an extra cigar. Like, I usually have cigars out, and I had one extra. I just kept it in the humidor downstairs. I said, I'll just smoke it tonight. So that was really the logic, that it was nothing else more than that. So this is, this is kind of funny. Of all this, now, I mean, you definitely have gone old school on this one. This is the they call this one the LC52. I'm sorry, no, the LC. The LC52 they call this one.
Yeah, and sorry.
I'm sorry, this is the LC50. What did I say? LC52 is the Toro. This is the Robusto. Yeah, I did.
This is the 2014. This was the first Las Calaveras. This cigar is 10 years old.
Yep.
This was the one that started it. Regarded as one of the greatest ones that has been made. I had 3 hanging around in I have a small humidor, box humidor, that I keep separate for very special stuff that's, companies that are gone, cigars that have been discontinued for a long time, like stuff that, like, if you cannot replace it. And so these made their way in there a few years ago, and they've been sitting in there just marinating, And I was going through it, and I was like, it's been a while, and I'm really into these. And, it's got 10 years of age on it, and I'll tell you, it's not crusty, it's not musty. It's as crisp as it, maybe a little refined, obviously, because it does have age, but I'll tell you, this thing still has its full strength. I mean, there's nothing lost on this cigar. This thing is wow.
Yeah. Dave Burke, who's my co-host on Primetime Jukebox,
Yeah.
he is a self-proclaimed Crown Boys fanboy. He actually is. But one thing that we've done a couple of things with the cigar on Jukebox. So every year we do a dedication show for people who passed away, and we always smoke the Las Calaveras for that year. So that's the first thing. But in the last couple of years, we have kind of tried to prognosticate what the primary color of the band is. Okay. And we started doing this last year, and I'm proud to say in 2023, I guessed the orange.
Wow.
And in 2024, Dave guessed the pink.
No
So,
shit.
So now we're going to give him credit for pink, even though, because the band isn't pink, it's like black with a good dose of pink. But I think he still should get credit for it. So we've gotten the color 2 years in a row on this, which we only started doing this like last year to guess on the color.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is once you get through the basic colors, I mean, once you get through a certain amount, you kind of figure it out after a while. Like,
Yeah,
oh shit, like
yeah.
how many colors are left before you start going to like the oddball colors, like the mixed colors and shit
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, not to discredit you or take away, but you're smart. You can put two and two together and figure it out. Be like, well, they already used green, blue, red, pink, and yellow. I mean, or whatever. It's like, oh, there's pink and there's orange, and you know.
The logic is last year was actually, even though this is the 10th anniversary, last year was the 10th release because the way they do it. So I guessed orange because of the Tennessee color. And then
Okay.
Dave guessed the pink, I think, because of that. There's like that Mexican pink color. And he got it right. It's kind of, Miguel was even saying it's like that Mexican fiesta pink, you see on a piñata or something like that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if we'll do it 3 years in a row, but to do it 2 years in a row, I was like, wow, we got something going on. Well, you're right. They're gonna run out of colors.
Yeah,
they've
and
done purple, they've done red, they've done green, they've done blue. So
they'll either start recycling the colors or they'll start getting into like really funky colors and, like mixing it up.
yeah,
But we'll see. It's exciting. I mean, look, Las Calaveras is one of my favorite lines of cigars, and certainly the original, the 2014, is probably still my favorite. I haven't smoked every single one, but I've smoked at least 60% of the releases, and this one's still my favorite.
Yeah, and what's, and I can, I know sometimes people may say a cigar story is hokey, but, this is to remember people passed away. When my dad passed away, I did smoke a few of these, and I can tell you, it evoked very good memories of the times we had. So I know people may say sometimes these cigar stories are corny and stuff like that, but I'm telling you, it had a real effect on me, which was, I can honestly say that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, that's, I think it's special what cigar represents. I mean, what it is awesome, but, what it represents is awesome, and great people behind it. There's everything about it. It's, it's really cool.
Yep.
It's like I said, it's one of my favorites for all the reasons, not just because, it's a good cigar, but like, the story, and it's really cool. It's really cool.
It is. Yep. Matt, I'm plugging a wire in. I'm not leaving you, okay?
Oh, don't worry. I know. You can't get too far. Look at that fucking Coop just leaves me up here by myself. What am I doing, Oh,
sorry about that. I'm back.
Yeah, like
that was like yeah, it was. Well, yeah, I had to bend over to get the wire. So yeah, I think I told you I had to rebuild the studio, and of course I forgot to plug in the laptop. So I was just like, I better plug this. Yeah. So okay, sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Yep.
I was telling you before the show. I've been doing a lot of network wiring through my house the last week, and one of the things was I wanted to really spread my network out, because a lot of people these days, their house is, everything's Wi-Fi, and that's cool. That's cool, but I'm an electrician, so I pull wires all day, and I know how to do it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna do like a wired setup, and I put a very intricate network system in this house, all wired. There's Wi-Fi too, but a lot of wiring, a lot of drops, and so I'm hardwired now. This is the first show we're actually fully hardwired. So we've had issues with connectivity in the past, I've tried everything with Wi-Fi, and I just said, fuck the Wi-Fi, I'm going hardwired. I gave up. So we should not have any issues ever again. If we do, I don't know what to tell you.
It's not. It's probably it's not probably your network.
Yeah, if we drop out at that point, then it's like a real malfunction.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no signal loss here. Like, my Wi-Fi is off on my laptop, so can't even like go in and out. Like, I'm just plugged in. So, and we are. This is that's the best solution I have. So, that should definitely enhance the quality of our programming. So, I'm happy to report that. Other than that, no other changes. Everything's been kind of business as usual. I want to bring this up really quickly. Oop, I lost Coop. There he is. Our friends at SD Dupont, who we know and love, lighting our cigars tonight with SD Dupont lighters. That's right. Shake up the legacy SD Dupont, featuring the new Fluo lighter. This is the Maxi Jet.
Yeah.
It's made in multiple pieces in the SD Dupont portfolio, but this particular scheme, the Tactical Sexy, that's right. I got Les to approve that, so I can say it now. Bright neon igniter trigger on the side. Matte black finish on the rest of the shell. It's beautiful. It's awesome.
This got a really good. I just reviewed it. This did really well as a performance, and it really didn't have any negatives. It didn't have it. It was like, honestly, usually I try to find, okay, this is where I'd like to see something improved. It checked all the boxes with this.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, these days, and look, I know the names at the bottom of the screen, but at the same time, like,
yeah, listen,
if you've been around long enough, I mean, SD DuPont's SD DuPont. I mean, there's a reason, that
they don't have a product that's a lemon. You know what I mean? And that's every company has swings and misses sometimes, and that happens. They don't. They really don't. These guys. And they've been doing this for so long. And we're not just saying because the name's on there. I did not have a big ST DuPont collection before I started collaborating with you, and I've had an opportunity to get some of these lighters, and I've ended up purchasing some of these lighters as a result now. So I am up to a few of these in my collection right now, and now I'm using them quite a bit. I don't leave the house with them. That I will not be leaving the house with them because they will get lost.
I get that. I get that. I mean, I've been daring. I travel with my line too, and the reason is because it is a soft flame lighter. I have had TSA, and I have pre-check and all that stuff too, so I go through security pretty quickly. But I have had TSA question. They pull it out, and they look at it, and they go, "Oh," and I go, "It's soft flame," and they're like, "Okay," I go, "It's soft flame. I can have it. There's no torch." And they're like, "Oh," and of course, a lot of people when they see a line 2, they don't know. I mean, they know Zippos and they know all the torches and stuff, but they're not. Right. They look at it and they know it's a lighter. They know it's a flip top, but they don't understand like the roll flat. So like they open it and they're like, "Huh," and then I just go, roll the roller, and they're like, "Huh," and they're like, "You do it," and I just go, "Soft," and they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're good," and they let me go. And everyone's like, "Well, what do you?" And I go, "But again, it's soft flame lighter. The federal law is per TSA, you are allowed to take a soft flame lighter onto an airplane unchecked. That's the law.
Yeah,
so
that's a law.
That's why I do it, because I'll fight them to the death on it because that's the law, and I just like to take it with me because it's reliable and I don't have to worry about taking torches and all this other nonsense, and it just I don't have to worry draining them, and I can just fill my soft flame, throw it in my backpack. It comes on the plane with me, and that's it. And I mean, that's why. And again, I got mine to use it. So, I totally respect there's people out there that, they have them, and I know that they're quite expensive, and there's some people who, they use them especially, and I totally get it. I think that's great. And I have stuff like that I do too, but for me, like I said, I'm going to use this. Like I'm going to use it until it falls apart. I've had it for 3 years now. And it's funny, when I was at the trade show this year, I was fortunate enough, I don't know if you guys got to meet or talked to Alain Cravette, who
Yeah, we
is
interviewed
the
him. We have there's an interview on Cigar Coop with him. Yeah.
yeah, we did too. And it's funny, I had my personal line too, out on the table, and he picked it up and he was like, "Oh, is this yours?" I said, "Yeah," and he was like, "Yeah, it's funny." And he said to me, he's like, "You use this lighter?" I go, "Yeah, almost every day." And he's like, "I can tell." He goes, "And he's like, the thing I love about it is, you know, is like when you see them, like, and it's such a piece of art, and you know they are, you know, they're nice and they're special." But he's like, you look at the scratches and the dings on them, and it's like you see the wear, and he's like, it tells a story almost, and he kind of, you know, he kind of went on this whole thing about, you know, really romanticizing it and being like, you know, it's nice when they're nice and whatever, and people take care of them. That's one thing. He's like, but then you see them but people use them, and he's like, that also, because it feels good too to see them worn out like that, because people are using them, and you know that those lighters have been around, and you know that they have character to them, and I said, yeah, I go, and that's my lighter. It's been dropped, it's been scratched, it's got dings on it, but you know, but I love it, and it's with me all the time. And he's like, yeah, he goes, that's what makes them special. And so
Yeah.
ever since then too, I just was like, yeah, like I've never really changed my opinion on it. I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna use it. It's you know, I know what it is, but people go, oh, what are you doing? You leave that home? I go, I'm gonna use it. And I'm very good about my stuff. I generally don't lose things, and when I do have it out, I keep it very close. I don't let people use it. I pull it out, I light it, goes right back in my pocket, and I make sure it's there. I don't leave it on a table. I don't put it down. I don't like, here, you use it. Like I comes out, it gets lit, it goes right away, and I keep close eye on it. And this lighter's been literally all over the world with me. Again, so I can't say enough. I mean, it's never let me down. You know, other than like maybe one time when I didn't realize my flint was worn. I was like rolling.
Right.
I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? It's like, oh, my flint's gone. But that's supposed to happen. So, yeah. Other than that, man, if you take care of them, you keep them clean, and you keep them fueled, you know, they'll last forever. I mean, they're
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah, and you know, if you're gonna make the investment, you use them. That's what they're meant to be. They're meant to be heavy duty and used. I mean, they're not meant to be like banged on the floor or anything, but I mean, I'm just saying they're meant to be used. So
Yeah,
so
not
use
to
them.
go on
That's
a
what
whole
I've been doing.
tangent. Yeah, not to go on a tangent. Just I get asked a lot. You know, people. You know, because I go out and about, and you know, people see it, and you know, the consent is people. Well, oh, you have your Dupont, like, and it's like, well, yeah, I use it. And then you get the people who are like, oh, like, you're out at a lounge, you brought the Dupont, and it's like, I bring the Dupont with me because I don't. It's just comfortable. Like I like the soft flame. I'm actually not a big torch guy. Let me rephrase that. Like, it's not that I don't like them. I really like the way the soft flame lights. So obviously, yes, like I do prefer using the soft flame. I use torches. I have nothing against torches. I really like soft flame. I like how compact it is, and I like how reliable it is, and I like how I can travel with it and not really have any issues. So it just makes a lot of sense. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you paid the money for it, gotta fucking use it. So,
Yeah.
but again, yeah. So sorry, not to go on a thing, but to just kind of like that's why. So
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good.
also, DuPont has a great service department. So if you have any issues with it and you send it in, they will take care of it. So that's another good thing too. If you ever have
Yep.
any issues, you know, reach out. They will take care of all of your needs. But anyway, that's our spiel on that. So we're smoking Las Calaveras. Let's see. Where do I want to start tonight? So I want to touch on something kind of small. And I'm not fully caught up to date on it, but there's a topic that came up over the last couple of weeks, and we talked about it, but I figured I'd bring it up here. People have been talking about, like, the fact that, you know, they're quote unquote reportedly there's been a lot of upper management turnover within the cigar industry, or a lot of people leaving the cigar industry, or
Right.
whatever. And I don't know. In terms of upper management people, I don't know if there's been that many, unless I just missed like 3 people. But John Carney left La Flor Dominicana.
Yep,
Dylan Austin
that's-
left Davidoff.
Yep.
And what's his name? I think just left from Alec Bradley. Right?
John Lipson.
Jonathan Lipson.
Yeah.
There's 3. But
Yeah.
I mean, Carney left the industry.
Yep.
I don't think anyone knows where Dylan went. Unless I missed that.
No, I don't know where he will. My guess is, I don't know if he'll stay in the industry. You never know. Or at least maybe that may not be his next move. But right now he's not in the industry.
What happened to Jonathan Lipson? Did he announce where he's at, or did he go to outside the
He's
industry?
not. No, but his position his position was eliminated.
Okay.
So he's one of the few people who've actually said his position was eliminated. Because you know the rule, right? No one gets fired in the cigar industry.
Right.
Right.
Position
So
gets eliminated.
yeah, I saw that comment, Matt. No, that's not a high number. 3 people, 4 months after a trade show. I mean, I actually, at the end of the year, in my write-up on Cigar Coop, I do a kind of a industry carousel of people who've come and gone. And the list is not that high this year. But that list does not include people on the ground, what I would call local territory reps. I don't really cover that piece. I don't think it's newsworthy that someone hires a rep for your territory, or because it's too local a story is kind of what it's a newsworthy story-wise, but for a national international story, it's not. And maybe that's been like I think I was telling you, maybe that number's been a little higher this year. There has been some rep turnover, and I would say that one is a little higher. But these things even out.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like if like 7 people, especially higher ranking staff members,
Yeah.
lost their positions or whatever, and all had jobs outside the cigar industry, I'd be like, yeah, that's very peculiar. But I mean, you got 3 like really upper people who've left their positions. 1 we know is out of the industry, and 2, remain to be seen. If they're actually out,
Right.
I don't know. So yeah, I think it's and sure, there's probably some sales reps and there's probably some other lower tier people that maybe found other jobs, but that's to be expected. Those people, there's a lot of cigar reps I've seen come and go, where they leave and then they go. They're still a sales rep, but they go to a different industry, and then they come back maybe, or that happens. I think that's. I mean, because a salesperson, I know that there's gonna be a following that's gonna like attack me when I say this, but I mean, at the same time, really tell me how I'm wrong. A salesperson is a salesperson. I mean, if you can sell cigars, and if you're a good salesperson and you can sell cigars, you can sell anything. It's having a product, knowing the product, and educating someone on what you're trying to sell, and being able to make the deal. If you can sell ice to the Eskimos, you can sell cigars, you can sell liquor, you can sell beauty products, you can sell cars, you can sell homes. They're all a little different in the way you go about them, sure, but I mean, that's why you see people go in and out, and that's kind of normal. Upper people, they tend to stay within an industry because they've kind of carved out this little spot and this reputation, and it's like, well, so that would be striking, but I don't think enough people in those positions have left where it's like, what's going on? I think it's kind of
I've worked in corporate America since 1989. That's 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this, and this is going to be controversial. Everybody is replaceable.
It's true.
There's no such thing as irreplaceable. Now, how well you replace that's the key thing. You bring someone in with the right skills and the training, but everyone is replaceable. There is no need. So and it goes in peaks and valleys. So I mean, I saw the thing that John put out there. I didn't understand it, right? About like all these moves, and I actually don't usually comment on the. I've been trying to stay off Facebook for a lot of reasons lately, but I usually don't like commenting on Facebook because why give Mark Zuckerberg the commentary when we can have it on our platforms like now?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't quite understand it. I mean, that was just a very general comment, and I love John, but it seemed like he was trying to stir stuff up, and I didn't see it like that.
Well,
I
I saw John's comment, but he wasn't the only one I saw talking about it. There was some other people who were talking about it too. I'm not trying to single out John either, and I'm not trying to call out John
I saw
either.
John's comment. I saw John's comment actually, and I just like. I haven't really seen a lot of it. Is what I'm saying. It's like I said, I've covered this. I've seen peaks and valleys. I think like I said, I think there's been a little more turnover at the rep level right now.
Yeah, Jamie had an interesting comment. The cigar boom has crested. The pressure is now on sales managers to produce in a downward heading market. You can see it in the specials that manufacturers are beginning to offer in various departures. More to come. I can see that.
Yeah, but I think also we've had, everyone wanted this upheaval with PCA to move the show to March. Oh, we were talking about this a year ago that we expected a slowdown by next summer, like when this happened. And I think we've seen it. Mm-hmm. You're just, you've pushed all your buying into the beginning of the year right now. And you've made it a little more dangerous, I think, because now you can blow your budget much earlier in the year where,
True.
you can maybe stretch the budget out. Now you've blown your budget earlier in the year. So, and my words were when this happened, be careful, industry, what you wish for, is what I said, because I thought this would happen. I don't think it's a terrible slump we're in. I want to say that, but there's a slowdown. There's like, not only sales, there's no product innovation. I mean, this has been last 2 weeks in news have been dead. There's like nothing even. There's been hardly any news. I think the biggest news was Mike Palmer getting promoted at Postani, right? Honestly, and good for Mike. Congrats. I'm not knocking it, but honestly, there hasn't been a big announcement in the industry the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think that's the only one that comes to mind.
Out of ship, limited edition, the shop exclusive. That's what you're seeing right now. It's so what's happening now? Now all of a sudden, reps leaving.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, just because I saw this comment really quickly. Victoria left the industry as well from STG.
But no one knows. But outside of the media people, most people wouldn't know. I mean, I love Victoria, but most people wouldn't know her. So I'm not trying to disparage.
No, that's true. I mean,
yeah,
most consumers don't know who that is. And
for us, that was a big deal. Victoria was our marketing liaison into STG, who is one of the best in the business. Mitchell's right to say it, but I think most people might not know who she is. Is what I'm saying.
And this is no disrespect to anyone else who works for any other company. There's a lot of great people in the industry, but Victoria is literally, and I can't stress this enough, one of the, if not the best marketing director in the business. I mean, when I tell you, Coop and I, we deal with how many hundred companies in the industry, right? And everyone does their thing differently, and there are some who are much better than others. But I'll tell you, man, she was on her shit
game.
I mean, she knew how to do her. She does. She still does that job. She went to the spirits industry, from what I understand. She didn't say where, but she did say the spirits industry. But look, if I needed something, she would answer my emails pretty quickly. Yeah. Always gave me what I needed. If I had an issue, she took care of it. She made sure that stuff went out that we needed, and because I'll just say it, be honest with you. Manufacturers do send us stuff from time to time, and not everybody, but some more than others. But in general, is very good about that. So she always handled that stuff. If I had an address change, like when I moved, she was on top of that. If I was doing a press release, I was like, well, this was missing. She'd answer the question. If I was like, hey, you gave me 2 photos, but I need a photo like that. She she was just on her stuff, and I'll tell you, man, she was really good. And there's a lot of good people. Believe me, there's a lot of good people.
Yeah.
But just she's been doing this a long time, and that's a big
Yep.
deal. And for people like us, like those are the people we deal with every day, and like that's a big deal for people in the media. So
Yeah. Really, really. And I've worked with her. I know her going back before I even have Cigar Coop, because
Mhm.
the other thing she administers was the consumer liaison program. That's how I first met her, was through the consumer program. Um. So, and then she left for a short time, General, and I could tell you it was chaos when she left, and it was so much chaos they brought her back. So, like I said, she was really, really good. And a lot of times we all have our complaints about a big company, right? Big company, but Victoria kind of had a way of softening, like making it softer, or making taking the BS out of it,
yeah,
and just keeping it real. And she was, she's a great person. I really wish her the best of luck. And yes, yeah, I say everyone's replaceable, but STG's got some. Like I said, it takes work, and you gotta get the skills of someone. It's gonna take some work to replace her, is what I'm gonna say. So,
mhm, mhm, yeah, hands down,
yep.
yeah, hands down, 100%. I mean, like I said, she was great. She sent that email out to everyone, letting everyone know she was leaving, and I sent her
Yeah,
I
and
sent
then,
her one back that I
yeah, well,
put some thought into, and
yeah.
she was
Not like
excited to
when.
hear about it. So
Yeah, and by the way, a big kudos to STG for doing that, and Victoria for doing that. How many times have we just discovered one day our marketing liaison's gone, like no longer there?
yeah, you
So,
start like emailing them, and you're like, what's going on? Like I'm trying to find, and then they're
yeah,
like, oh, so she left like 2 months ago, and we're kind of like all over the
yeah,
place. And it's like you didn't think to tell the media? I mean, that's their fucking job.
yeah,
You're the point
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like what are we doing? Like,
Yep,
oh, I
yeah.
know,
So
I know. Yeah, it's Drew Estate's gone through a couple of different people the last few years. But they've been good. Like everyone always knows. Like, hey, like I'm leaving and this and that.
yep,
STG, Victoria sent that email. They were good about the big companies. Obviously, they're a little more structured because they got a little more
yep,
corporate to them.
yep,
It makes more sense. But
yep,
the smaller companies, yeah, that's usually where that lies, and I get it too. Maybe because it's just the operations not as. But
yep.
yeah, it's tricky. It's very tricky.
Yeah,
But anyway, I mean, yeah, I wish Victoria nothing but the best, and
yeah, absolutely.
I hope that whoever takes over, it still does a good job. And I have faith. They're a big company; they can figure it out. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, other than that, no other major changes. So yeah, I don't know. Just thought that was weird, but that was my spiel on that. In terms
Yep.
of staff, I mean, we're halfway through the year, a little bit past halfway through the year. Um, there's still more time. And be curious to see who else is leaving, where, and excuse
Yeah,
me. I'm sure there will be a couple more people. Because I think I have a
I
feeling
usually
to
see
see
about
more.
I usually see about 20 to 25 of these moves a year. If you want to say national sales reps, marketing people, stuff like that, and and I don't cover them all. Like, some of them are just they've got to have some skin in the game to really cover it. Even somebody like even some of these national sales manager hires, right? They're not really even. I guess that's the title they love to throw around the most in the cigar industry. Most of these guys get the national sales manager title and national sales reps, meaning they're
Yeah.
they're they're not hiring a staff. They're going around the country as the rep for the company. So a lot of them are titles, are nice titles, and I would say about 3/4 of the national sales managers in the industry are in that boat. But there are some that have truly went into that role. I just mentioned Miguel Carney. There were some legitimate ones who manage people on top of that. Juan Lopez. So
Yeah, Juan's great.
Yep.
Yeah, and people you mentioned too that they're good at their jobs too, and they've held those positions for a long time.
Yeah. Juan's the longest. I think Juan may be the longest tenured that I could think of. I mean, he's been in the Gurkha role for as long as I've had Cigar Coop, I believe.
Yeah, he's been around a long time.
Yep.
Juan's another one. He's one of the best. Bianca, his wife,
Very.
is one of the best. I mean, hands down. Like I text her, be like, I need this, whatever. She gets it done. She doesn't fuck around. She's another good one. She's been doing this for a while, so it's not really a surprise. But yeah, I mean, this is yeah, I mean, again, great people,
Yeah.
There's not many bad eggs, to be honest with you. It's like the bad eggs, which we won't really name because that's not what we're here to do.
Well.
And I don't just mean like the market people, like just the people in general, like who work in the business. Like, I mean, I probably can count them on my hands. Both hands. It's not that many. I mean, most people are good. Sydney from JC Newman, great. She kind of came in a few years ago, took over for Adria, Adria was awesome. But Sydney has kind of grown into her role. And I always work well with her. She gets things done. Like I said, most people are pretty good. So yeah, I mean, it's nice, and that's what also makes what we do what it is too, because we get to interact with these people every day.
Yeah, and then there's guys who I've worked with this guy for the whole time with Cigar Coop, Gabriel Panaris and his PR firm.
Oh, Gabe, yeah.
And he is one of the best. And
another one.
And and here's what I always say about Gabe. Gabe, when he goes in and starts working with a company, and he doesn't work with them forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when he leaves, they're always in better shape than they were beforehand.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. I mean, look at the improvements we've seen with CLE in the last. And CLE was horrendous to deal with marketing for the longest time, right?
Oof.
And the last year, it's been one of the best. So,
dude,
and then
the last year or so, when Gabe took over, wow, it's been like, holy shit, it's so nice.
And then look, I'm not trying to pick on Villiger. I know I pick on him sometimes, but he was with Villiger. They were great. He left. It's gone. It's like, I mean, they still communicate with. They send us cigars, but again, preference information is like crazy, He's a big difference maker. Gabriel's what I'm gonna say. He is really, and anything I've needed from him, he's been great with.
Yeah, I mean, Gabe is he's another one. Like I'd call him tomorrow and be like, hey, I have a question on this, and if he doesn't know, he'll be like, I'm gonna make a phone call. I'm gonna call you in an hour, and he will call me back in an hour and be like, this is what he said. Or he'll be like, I couldn't get a hold of him, but I'm gonna try.
Right.
Yeah, no problem. He will get me the answer. No doubt. He doesn't like, oh yeah, like let me look into it, and then like 3 days go by and I'm like, Gabe, like come on, where are you? Oh yeah, like I forgot. Like no, like that day I got my answer.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really good at what he does.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of great people in the industry. A lot of great people. There's a lot of people that work in the industry that, and I guess there's really no reason for it, but like they don't get enough recognition because they work really hard. They do a great job, and they make the operation of that business successful. And I don't think people realize how important that is. So
no, I know, yeah.
That's why I think it's worth spending the time on the conversation. But again,
yep.
Anyway, that's staffing. Staffing. I mean, we'll see what the rest of the year brings. I'm not too worried yet. Jay made a good point. I think that there's going to be, but you also made a good point too. There's a lot of factors. And I'd be curious to see what the next 12 months brings after the next trade show. I'm curious to see what happens. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Outside of that, yeah, I mean, starting to see some a couple of new products be announced. Nothing
What?
crazy.
I said nothing.
You saw?
I didn't even have a news segment for Abe today. I'm lucky we didn't have KMA. That's how bad it was. There was nothing.
I feel like
almost
there's
worth
been a
talking
couple
about.
of things. I mean, nothing. I mean, yeah, maybe nothing like groundbreaking, but like there's been a couple of things. Marifel added some new sizes to their stuff.
That was 3 weeks ago, though.
I think
that was
no,
3 weeks ago.
I know, but I mean within the last couple of months where we've been talking about this issue.
Okay.
Like they added something. I think Fratello announced something new.
They're concealed carry. I mean, these are small releases.
Yeah.
I think the next big thing we're all going to be looking at is in September, which is going to be Padron 60. I think that's going to be the story next in September. I don't think there's going to be anything major until then.
Yeah, but do we see it this year?
Yeah,
even an announcement. Like, is it?
Obviously anything can happen, but they were saying when I talked to them at the trade show, the plan was to ship this on the September date. That's the actual 60th anniversary date of Padron. I think it's like September 8th or something like that. That's what they told me at the trade show when I talked to them. So they were but from what I heard, they still haven't given pricing out yet. So like I said, anything can happen, Matt. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. No, I'm not like knocking Padron. Just it's
Is there any like major trade show thing that you've heard about that hasn't been shipped yet? Like, is there anything that you sort of trade? Because I'm trying to think about. Most of the big stuff is shipped now.
I mean, Rocky Patel just shipped the gold label.
Yep, with a price increase.
Yep. Most of Sokka's stuff has gone out, with the exception, I think, one or two things that he said wouldn't be ready till the end of the year. But he was upfront about that, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I think most of it's out.
Yeah, most of it's out, but I feel like there was like one or two things where like he was like, it's not ready till the end of the year. I think I have to check. I thought he said something like, well, I thought there was like one thing.
Like the Lanceros aren't ready yet.
I know those are. I thought there was something else, but I could be wrong.
I haven't heard anyone like screaming for their Lanceros. By the way, all these people wanted Lanceros, but don't worry,
I'll buy them.
Sold, so
I told everybody. I told all the retailers that I'm friends with. Like they all know who they are, and I told them, like, you order them. I'm not buying them.
I'm not buying them. One is because I don't like Lanceros, right?
Well,
and two, there's
what
no
a shocker.
point. There's no point. Yeah, but here's the other thing. Here, I'm gonna give you the. You want the business reason why I'm not? You want the business reason why I'm not buying?
No, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
If there were Gordos, I wouldn't. One thing I did change in the Coop end of year rules last year is cigars that are sold in samplers are no longer eligible. So they have to be sold maximum. If the package contains 2 blends, that's what I'll do. But they have to be sold separately otherwise. So no more than 2 blends, and because it gets too expensive to rate those cigars. So if I review them, I gotta buy 2 samplers because I always don't smoke one. And then if it makes the list, I got to get another one. And these get. I went through this with the.
It adds up. Yeah.
I went through this with the Monster Mash, and I'm like, not again. Yeah, I'm not doing this one again. So yeah, so for me, it was a budgetary thing where I just said I'd rather put something else in the review rotation for that. So it has nothing to do with not that I want a Lancero. Don't get me wrong, but there's no point in that. If Steve decides to start selling some of those Lanceros as standalone blends, that's another story. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned Tatuaje. Has any of that stuff shipped yet?
Yeah, they've been steadily shipping. I think some of the surrogate stuff has recently shipped.
Oh yeah,
so it's steadily come. Yeah. Pete said that was going to be a year-long rollout of this stuff.
Okay, so he's good. Sokka's good for the most part.
Pepin shipped their stuff.
Yep, Rocky's got
EPC,
his shit out.
EPC, yep, EPC shipped.
Yep.
General shipped. Altadis has got their stuff shipped.
Yep.
Georgia State didn't really have much, but they shipped.
The shades are out. Yeah.
Yeah, Perdomo didn't have any, but they, so
all the Hoya. Ship. Well, they have Hoya. Hoya's stuff. All the Cabinetto Lanceros are out. The Cinco de Cincos are out. All that stuff's out.
Most of that stuff's out.
The Classico, the Classico that's out.
They're out. They're out. Yep.
Did Placencia have anything? I don't remember. Did they bring anything new?
Yeah, they did. They had a new size of the Alma the Fuego or one. No, they had one new
and
size of the.
did they do a new cosecha?
No, they didn't do new Cocheca. Then they had the Ometepe, which they wouldn't talk about at the show, and everyone knew about it, right? The $100 cigar. They didn't show it at the show, but they shipped it. But they were taking orders for that $100 cigar last year at the trade show. That's how I knew about it. But they wouldn't talk about it until after it landed on the shelves, which I didn't quite understand that strategy. But I guess they know more than me on that one, right?
Alan, you're the biggest
now-
Altadis fanboy. You should know the answer to that question.
Well, that's not Altadis. That's Plasencia.
No, he said there's a new St. Louis Ray out.
I think that shipped. Yes, I believe that shipped.
But he should
That
know
was
that.
delayed. That was what. Yeah. Who? Who?
Alan Rubin. He should know that. He's an Altadis fanboy. He should just know that. Anyway,
no.
I think it is out.
The Ultramar.
What'd you say?
It's called the Ultramar.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I think
believe I'm
everything's
just kind of
out
looking
for
at.
the most part. I mean,
I don't think that one is shipped yet. I'm actually did a couple Googles here. That may be one that hasn't shipped.
Gurkha
I'm
stuff has
checking my
gone out.
Not all of it, but they have a couple of the.
Well,
Year of the Dragons, but that-
the 35th anniversary's out. The Year of the Dragons are going to be quarterly, so the first two are out, and I think where are we? We in Q3 yet?
Yeah.
Where are we?
Yeah.
So I think their Q3 one will probably go out soon,
Yeah.
and then they got the Q4. So because it was supposed to be one for each quarter of the year, so
Yeah.
they're currently they're on pace, with their release on the Dragons and all that. So those are out.
You know it didn't ship, but they said they were not committing to a ship date. Was the AJ Fernandez 20th anniversaries? So they were kind of saying they said we're previewing this, but they were kind of non-committal on a ship date. They said possibly September, but that's not something they committed a ship date to. JRE got all their stuff out, which was the Cameroon and the Fumanoche. JRE kind of tends to get their stuff out pretty quick after a trade show. They usually.
Yep.
Espinosa's got the Seis Provincias, but that was targeted for later in the year.
That's usually a holiday release,
So
isn't
that
it?
one.
Like October, November, don't they usually come up for the holidays?
Yeah, they've come out later in the year, but I don't know if they intended it for the holidays or just kind of worked out like that.
Okay.
Fuente
Yeah, because
committed.
when it comes to Fuente, there is no timetable. You don't know when it
They
goes
don't
out. It just shows up.
Them-
So
Yeah.
they did show some new stuff. I think. So one of the things they showed off at the show was they were going to do the three count tins of the Oro Escuro blend, like they do with the Angel Share and with.
I
Fuente
haven't
Fuente.
seen them yet.
I thought I saw some out in the wild. I thought I saw some. I could be wrong. I thought I saw some. Those may have gone out in a small quantity. It looks like they recently shipped out a batch of Forbiddens, but those have been around. They showed off the rare pink blacks. We have not seen those on the market yet.
Carlito was non-committal the other night on that on the show, by the way.
Right. So those could be next year. I mean, we don't know. They showed off a new size in Opus X25 that will go out on its own without the humidor, in its own packaging. Again, no timetable. That could be a holiday thing. Fuente Padron finally did go out, so that is now out.
But Carlito said most of it hasn't gone out yet. There's a lot more still to ship.
Right, but I mean it some of it has. Okay, so people have it. People smoked it. You know what I mean? That's the way what I'm saying. So, but yeah, most of it, with them, it's kind of different because they're like one of those companies where it's a surprise, and I don't think anyone really holds them to it because that's just how they are, and I think everyone's okay with it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I got a couple of big ones. Actually that have been shipped. I guess this is not a big one. It's a limited release, but it was a major show, and J.C. Newman has not shipped the Tampa Smokers yet. But they were not planned until October anyway.
Yep, that's true.
So they kind of said that, hey, we're going to ship these for the world. Now, they got the Leroy Neiman's out on time. I was actually wondering if they were going to get, because those are for the Olympics.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
They got this
Luciano's
year's. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
Luciano's ship has shipped. I believe all. I think all of it. Maybe I think the only thing that may not have shipped is Peter James yet, but I think everything else shipped from Luciano.
J.C. Newman also sent out their first batch of Yagua for 2024, so those have gone out.
Which that's typically been a summer release every year now. Yeah. So they've gone out.
So
I mean, J.C. Newman's notorious for missing dates, and it's just if they don't think it's right, they don't ship it. That's not a knock on them. They do not mess with that.
I just had one and I lost it. Who was it? Who were we talking about? Was it JC? No. Who was it? Oh, there was one that I just had like loaded and ready to go, and I forgot already. Damn it. Yeah, there was another one that came to mind. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, most of the stuff is
most of it
Las Calaveras is out from Crown Heads.
Yeah. Padron 60. Oh, the Oliva still hasn't shipped that $300 cigar yet, even though it's not going to have the gold on it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Now they changed it. Now it has a gold. I don't know if you saw. They changed it at the show. They're not doing the gold on it.
Yes.
They changed it, and they're going to put a gold Lisfine's Lamb's cutter in it now instead. But it's still going to be a $300. It's still going to go for it's still going to be an expensive cigar. But I don't know how they're going to price it out. But yeah, the box is still going to be expensive.
Oh, hold on a second. Jay made a correction here. Las Calaveras' 10th anniversary hasn't shipped yet. So the LC 2024, the EL 2024 is out. The special edition 10th anniversary set is not out yet.
Miguel said it's shipping in September. They did not want the releases to compete. So that was, and I think they always had planned it that way. Yeah, he had planned that one, and I think I remember when that got announced. So yeah, they got that. So like I said, I would say you're looking at 80 to 85% of the stuff is shipped, and I'm wondering if we're going to see a fall release cycle of stuff. Back in the day, Matt, this is way before you did. We used to have the IPCPR trade show. It used to be in August, right?
Yeah.
And we tended to have in like February, we would see this spring release cycle of cigars with a lot of releases. When the trade show moved to mid-year, that spring cycle went away, and it really was the mid-year thing. I'm wondering now, will a fall release cycle come out or not? So.
What the fuck? Sorry, I had a little ember fall into my hand. I didn't even realize it. I think it's because you got to remember too, like, especially when the show moves so early in the year, you show off all these products, you ship it out, you get all summer. Half the country, are seasonal because they're only nice people who smoke outside. So you get like the summer people, the spring people, they smoke all year. You get to the end of the year, and all that shit's out, and people have been buying it, smoking it, whatever. But then again, you go into the holidays, and there's always this rush of special editions and stuff for the holiday because people are going to buy stuff for gifts and whatever, and so there's always
Yeah, we're gonna have a ton of Year of the Snakes.
Davidoff's Year of the Snakes are going to be coming. I don't know when Gurkha's going to drop their Year of the Snake, if they're going to do it like end of the year or the beginning of next year.
I can tell you, Altadis already has one. I saw it being made, so I know that when I was down there.
Yep.
So those are in production. So yeah, there's going to be Year of the Snakes coming up. I'm sure Placencia's got one.
Yep. So is that. There's a lot of others too, but like Las Seis Provincias we talked about before. There's other people who do some stuff at the end of the year. Matt Booth sometimes does some stuff at the end of the year.
Well, Matt hasn't. There hasn't been a 15th anniversary cigar announced yet, and usually the summer is when that gets announced. So they've done 10 to 14, but I haven't heard anything about a 15-year anniversary yet.
Is it the fifth? Is this the 15th year? I lost track.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Last year was the 14th.
That was last year. Oh yeah, you're right.
I know that because I have the 14s in like a review queue. That's why I still haven't
yeah.
reviewed the 14s. So I
That's
wanted
true.
to do it before the 15s. Yeah. But we're so far behind on reviews as everyone is lately.
Yeah, you're right. I have not seen a 15th.
Yeah, that would be. I can't see him not doing a 15th.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I forgot about
And
that. That's a good.
yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Maybe
Yeah.
unless maybe they said, hey, let's hold off to the end of the year, do it as an end of the year release.
Yeah, I mean he's talked about Chief Cool Arrow. I doubt we'll see that until next year. I think that will be something they hold for the trade show.
Oh, it's coming. Yeah, I mean.
No, he's been pretty open on it.
Yeah, it's coming. I think you're right. I think we see it next year, but it's coming.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah,
people still like, you think he did really? It's coming back. I know it's coming back, but I don't think we see it this year.
Yeah.
So that's out. Namakubi, I believe, is supposed to still be an annual holiday release.
Yeah, almost every year.
I think that it was his plan. So we'll probably see that for like holidays. Trying to think. I mean, Fuente ships a lot of like the Opus 20th at the holiday. That happens every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to rack my brain through like, what we could still see. Calif Blue went out.
Yeah, Red's coming out.
Oh, that's right. Red.
So one of the Red events is going to be a mile from my house.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, and they're doing. And thank you for doing it on a Saturday, by the way, not like a Thursday night, like everyone does their events on Thursday night when we have shows to do. Like,
I know everyone does you coming to the lounge? I'm like, I gotta, I'm like, no,
show,
or not even. I don't have a show Thursday, but I'm like, it's a work night, and I get the fucking baby. Like, what do you like? No,
yeah.
Friday, Saturday night, like, yeah, that's a different story, but like,
yeah,
I agree. I agree. It's always Thursday night, like Thursday, like what, like, why does it have to be a Thursday? You know what I mean? Like, I hate that.
Well, and it's the best is when they line up Thursday events at multiple shops in town. It's like,
oh, of course,
or they do book tours, like how we have, how the media, how people do the media book tours. There's event book tours that go on where they're doing 3 or 4 events in the same area in a week. I'm like, who is thinking?
Yeah,
here?
I know.
I mean,
I know.
No, I mean,
that's true. I mean,
I understand maybe you have to do 2. I do understand maybe you have to do 2. It's travel, but 4, no.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything we know about that was like, hey, this is coming out and whatever. I think
but nothing.
It's either gone out or it hasn't. But we were told like it's not coming out till later. Yeah. So it's like, okay, there's nothing that's like late, really.
Yeah.
I think
if Fuente gets the Blackpinks out, that would probably be the only thing I could see knocking Padrone's 60th momentum because Blackpink really hasn't been announced. They just showed a box is all they did,
and they wouldn't talk about it.
They wouldn't talk. Carlito wouldn't talk about it the other night either. But I normally don't ask him what's new, although I tried to lead it in. We did get some vindication from Carlito about the story. That did come up in the conversation with Carlito.
What story?
About how he gave us that story. We didn't copy it off of Instagram, and he said and he talked about it. He said he goes what do you think? He goes,
oh, the Puente Padrone thing.
Yeah. And he says he was talking about how crazy it was that the freaking container dropped. I mean, it was he gave it so he gave us vindication on that. He corroborated. Yes, I sent the pictures out Thanksgiving weekend. So for those naysayers who blasted Matt and I, right? And there were multiple people who said we didn't do our homework. Pepperidge Farm remembers. I haven't forgotten you. I haven't forgotten you, and if I haven't seen you, we're gonna have a conversation about it. Okay, so I'm just telling you, when I see you face to face, and you're one of the people who did that, we're gonna have a nice conversation. I want to understand your rationale with it. I'm not gonna be angry or anything, but we will have a conversation about it. So, Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I said it before. I'll say it again. For those who need to be reminded, when it came up, I was on the phone with Jose Blanco, Carlito Fuente. I texted Giro.
We were at the
I
same time
was
working
in
on.
touch with them directly. They told me exactly. Carlito sent me photos of like yeah, okay. Like
Yep.
it's Instagram business. I don't know. I go to the source, so
Yeah. Oh, we didn't.
I don't know
We
where you
didn't
get
go.
that
We
from.
had to be. Yeah. Yeah, no, we went to the source, So I understand. I understand there's some people, who just don't know how to do news or anything. But no, I will be when I see you. We'll have a nice conversation. You can explain to me, why you felt the need. I want to understand how I didn't do my homework on this. Is what I want to understand.
Mhm.
So I'm looking to learn from it. I'm not going to confront and be angry here. I want to understand where this comment came from because I thought it was, I think we've been, I've been doing this for 14 years. You've been doing this now for 5 years. I think we know what we're doing.
Yeah, it's true. Anytime something happens, I mean, I pick up the phone and I call them, or they call me and they're like, "Hey, just a heads up." Oh, okay, cool. Yep.
Yep. No, but
Pretty-
I brought it up
pretty-
with
pretty
I brought it
simple.
up with Carlito. I brought it up with Carlito on Wednesday night. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we don't. I think we're way past having to explain ourselves at this point. But
I think so too. But when you miss out, when people either miss out on a story or they're jealous about the story, right? I will say another thing that Carlito said. He said I was 100% right that they should have did a press release when that thing actually shipped, and he acknowledged his mistake on it. Because remember there was some controversy about the pricing and the stuff going to charity, and he admitted on that.
I did.
Admitted,
I put that out when I was on the plane on my way to Vegas for the trade show when that went down. I was on the plane on my laptop putting it out, and then like an hour later, I was taking a nap, and then I woke up, and I had like a bunch of text messages from Carlito, and I'm like, "What's this all about?" And he was like, "Oh, look on the story," and I was like, "Oh yeah." I mean, we just kind of it was out there, we got it out, and he was like, no, I know, like we should have said something, whatever. And then I saw him like the next night because I went to an event and he was there, and he saw me. He's like, oh, hey, on the story. I was like, yeah. He's like, no, don't worry about it. Like, yeah. And he just said the same thing to me. He's like, I saw other people put stuff out that I didn't really agree with, and he's like, but no, and whatever. So.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was a sticky situation. I mean,
yeah. So this is what Carlito said happened. I think that the guy who put the picture on Instagram of that he had the box got it. He thinks he got it from Padron because he said it wasn't one of the Fuente boxes, right? So the guy put it out there, and a bunch of people immediately ran with it. Now, what did I do? I was already in Vegas, so I messaged Carlito on this, okay? And I said, hey, Carlito, just verifying this. He's like, yeah. But he told me. I had the advantage where he told me about the charity thing and stuff like that. And he was a little non-committal on the pricing, right? But so I was kind of clear, but I think other people didn't contact. No, you were on the plane. I think Half Wheel. I don't know what happened there, but Charlie did his job on that too. I'm not criticizing Charlie, but
he did, and Charlie knows them too, and Charlie knows how to get in touch with them. I'm sure. Half Wheel, in Half Wheel's defense, because again, I know what it's like to be in their spot. I mean, like
that's what the retailer had pricing.
Shit comes out, and if a retailer is like, hey, I got it, and this is the price that they told me,
right, and then
everyone knows how it works with retailers. I mean, they're.
You can't blame anyone on the charity piece. You didn't tell anybody about the charity piece. The reason why I had it is because Carlito and I were messaging that morning was the only reason why I had it because, but like I said, he brought it up to me, Carlito, right? So, I mean, I had no idea about it, right? But Carlito brought it up to me, and I said, oh, it's a good thing to put in the story, So that's what happened there. But he acknowledged that could have been communicated better, and I think he learned from that. He gave me credit on that one. I was a little nervous he might have come after me on that, but he was very.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. We all did what we were supposed to do, and
yeah.
I mean. I don't know. I mean, but yeah, I'm glad that that came up. And, But yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's just part of the game, man.
Yep. Yeah.
But outside of that, yeah, I mean, it's business as usual.
Yeah.
When it comes to that stuff, I mean, things get
Yeah.
written, sometimes they get edited, and we move on. So,
Yep. But Pepperidge
yeah,
Farm remembers. I'm just telling everyone that because when we have that conversation and someone says they knew my homework, I have a link now. You could just click on that and you can see the video where Carlito says, "I gave me the story." He gave me the story. I reached out to him. He gave me the story. So it's very simple. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If you had like the hat, like you kind of look like the Pepperidge Farm guy. You know, you got the glasses.
I'm old enough, right?
You're old enough.
Pepperidge.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah. Oh, I don't forget. I don't forget. I guess I'm gonna be nice and cordial about it, but I want someone to explain to me and teach me how I didn't do my homework on that story, because I would really like to do a better job next time. So come prepared.
Yeah.
It will. The conversation will happen. Yeah, with
I
several
know
people.
you know you don't let things go. I know.
Nope.
I know. I'm not knocking you.
Yeah.
I know.
I didn't see these people at the trade. I saw one at the trade show, but I was in the middle of a personal situation. Everyone knows that week, so on the trade show floor, so I couldn't deal with it, unfortunately. But yeah, but they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
sorry.
I saw two actually on the trade show. I made a mistake. No, it's two I saw, but yeah, I was dealing with. So, but we will have that. I won't. Don't worry. We'll bring it up again. I'll bring it up again. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I just hope I get to see it happen. I know how you are.
Yeah.
But anyway. So yeah, no, we've covered releases and stuff that's gone out, staffing stuff. I mean, it's all kind of business as usual. I don't think there's been no industry controversy. It's been kind of, this is a dull year for cigar industry. It's not like with just products. It's just just in general, like I don't know, nothing super exciting. I mean, General bought Sutliff. So
it's a big story, and that was a big story. $100 million acquisition. That was.
Yeah. So there's that. I just remembered that. I'm like, well, they that happened, and they continued their buying spree. So, which I think we expected. I think that right now they're in a position where they're buying. They're spending some money, and I think for a company like them, that's to be expected. Makes a lot of sense. So that happened. That went down. But yeah, we still have another half of the year, a little less than a half a year to go, and
we have Intertabac coming. We have Intertabac coming. I don't think that's going to be a big. I don't expect a ton of products out of Intertabac. So
well,
we have
none of the biggest names will be there. STG, Habanos, and Davidoff will be there.
I mean,
so.
you'll be I won't be reporting on TAA this year, but there will be TAA. So if you guys are interested, you can go to Matt and read about, or if Matt decides to cover that, or other people decide to cover it.
We're not going to kill ourselves on it. I mean, if I get something, I might throw it out there, but I'm not.
Yeah, if there's a company, if there's a company we have a relationship with that says, hey, could you? Yes, we're going to do that. That's not like, Espinosa, I know, has a TAA cigar coming out. If we have a relationship with you guys, we're going to do it. We're not going to chase you down and find out what your TA releases are, and but that's got to be on a per request basis to Cigar Coop, basically. And it's got to follow the rules of any single store. Release mean we got to get it the same day as it's announced.
LFD has a new blend of theirs. I think they're calling it the Emerald or Emerald.
The one that was supposed to that's the green box one.
Yes.
But that was last year, but they always said it was going to be this year. I know, like from day one. So it's not like, I think they always planned on that for a 24 release.
No, I know. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I know that that's supposed to be coming. So Pete always does one. Herklotz always does one.
Crown Heads, Christoph. They usually. Yeah. Espinosa is now in it.
Yeah.
Oh, but I've talked enough about the TAA. They've got more press than they should have got from me already.
Yeah, no, that's true. Here's a question for you. And this isn't like a negative thing either. I mean, it's still kind of new. But have you heard anything through Scott Pierce on, his first few months with CAA?
No, we had him on a Coop show. Right when he started at CAA, and but the interview was like he was on because we were going to reflect on. It was mostly to talk about reflecting on his career at PCA, but he was like he was only a few days into the job, so there wasn't much to say.
Right.
I don't think I don't know if we'll know much. CAA has their meeting usually the first week in November, their annual meeting.
Okay.
They usually have that down in Palm Beach. So, I haven't heard anything with it yet, though. I think they have some communication problems they still got to address. To be honest with you,
That's something Scott will definitely fix.
like I got to get on. Like I want to get on the list where you get the export numbers and stuff. I still can't get those from CAA. So, but yeah. So not yet. The short answer is no, but I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I brought it up because I know how Scott is, and I saw what he did with PCA, and I know kind of how the CAA is.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what he does with it.
That's a little different organization than PCA and
right
and CRA because it's less consumer facing. That's really
Correct.
all. That's really all inner. So I can see him changing the mission of this. By the way, I could see him definitely making it a little more of a full service organization. I see him doing that. So
there's a lot he could do.
See.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to target to get him on after they have like the big annual meeting. Like I said, I always know they do it the first week in November, so it may be different because of Big Smoke, but it's around then.
Oh, that's right, the Big Smoke. Forgot about that. Where are they doing that this year? Are they own resorts?
Vegas.
No, I know it's in Vegas, but
it's not at the Mirage, right?
Oh, Mirage is gone.
They are doing it someplace.
I think they did Resorts World last year, but Resorts World's Convention Center is not. I don't even think they started building it yet. So I think they were doing it because I remember last year here, but like they did it in like these like
Paris. They're doing it in Paris.
Oh, they're doing it in Paris. Interesting.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Interesting.
So they went from an MGM property Resorts World. Well, they went from MGM to Resorts World now to a
Caesars property.
Paris Caesars property. Yeah,
that's a Caesars property. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
you ever notice yeah.
No, go ahead.
For like 10 months of the year, you hear the companies complain about CA, and then the last 2 months of the year, they love CA, right? Because it's Big Smoke followed by the list. So
the list coming out. Oh, hey, CA, what's going on? I got that list.
Yep.
It's true. It's true.
Yep.
Who do you have any guesses as to who tops on that list this year already?
I haven't looked at it too much yet.
Me either. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I have to look at where the scores are gonna land. We know it won't be Fuente this year.
Yeah.
So I would say Fuente, Padron, and Cuba, who the last three are out.
Yeah.
So this is a year. The name that always comes up is Rocky, as the big name. That's everyone says that's the name who's due. So will Raphael kind of land on the list again with something? I think he's kind of due to get a big number on there. So it will be interesting. Like I said, I haven't really started to think about it yet. So I think it will be interesting to see what happens with that. I mean, we'll start thinking about it probably in October.
Here's something interesting. Jay, Ashton has a lot of 90s.
Yeah, they do, and they're another one who's due.
Yeah. Has Ashton ever got one from them?
Never got number one.
Okay.
They've
never
gotten a number one.
I don't think this will be the year. Not because I don't think there's anything that's worth it, but But you know who else has never got one? Who I think is probably deserving? It's Pete.
Yeah.
I don't know if it happens this year, but I mean, I think Pete's due one. I mean, everyone knows where I stand with Tatuai. I mean, he makes good shit. So.
Yeah, I mean, I saw, Pepin could be due to get another one.
Carrillo's already gotten a couple in the last few years.
Korea's got a couple, but he hasn't had the high score this year. So that's gonna be another one. That Rocky Patel Conviction's one to watch, right? I don't think they're gonna give that one number one, but I will say this: it's in the running for the top of the Coop list right now. It is absolutely a contender on the Coop list. So much so that I had to go buy another one to re-smoke it for the list. So it has been it's been a little bit of an expensive proposition. But that Rocky Patel Conviction was really good.
Jay brought up something interesting, and I wanted to talk about this. Has CA rated Emissary? That's worthy, and General hasn't had one, or at least for a while. So, a couple of things here. One, has General ever got one from them?
No, they've gotten a 3.
Okay. 2, the Emissary. Let's talk about this for a second.
I think they got rated, but it wasn't high enough.
On the Emissary, or you mean in general?
The Emissary. I think it was rated in Inside. I want to say Insider rated it, but it wasn't high enough. I'm just doing a search on the CA site.
So here's the thing: we were at the trade show, and it took like a day. I think it was after day 1 that the floor was open.
Right.
And I went out that night, and people were talking about the Emissary, the Macanato Emissary. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
We were high on it, yeah.
I came back from the show, and I smoked 2 of them, and both times I was like, what? Like, I don't know.
You weren't the only one, by the way. That was I was high on it, but there were a lot of people who weren't.
Yeah, I either hear people raving about it, or it's like, ugh, no. I smoked 2, and I was like, ugh, I don't even think I finished it. I was like, nah. I don't know.
I think it's gonna have I think it's probably. I'm looking at the Coop schedule. It's probably gonna be reviewed in October on Coop. One of the last ones reviewed.
Okay.
But I want to say it's Cigar Insider reviewed it. I just don't know what issue it was in, and I want to say it might have fallen a little short.
Yeah, that is an interesting one. Jay, thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah.
Because Jay was like one of the first people to be like, "Have you had this?" Because I was with him most nights.
Well, I was too.
And he was smoking it, and he was like, "Yeah, this is fucking good." And I was like, "All right, I gotta check that out." And then I came back from the show, and I was like, "What?"
Well, the Coop team was very high on that cigar, with the exception of Nielsen. Nielsen was the only guy who wasn't high on it. So, that's kind of where that landed, I would just say. So, but most of us felt, in fact, when we did our scorecard at the end of the trade show, it finished second. Saka's Bronzeback actually won it, was our top one we had at the show.
It's funny you mentioned that one, too, because I think Nicole smoked it. Did she smoke that one yet? I think I have some. I have to smoke one, too. In fact, I should smoke one after this. But, sorry, excuse me.
Blacken got one of the Blackens got a good score, too.
Yeah, what were we just talking about? Oh, yeah, the Bronzeback. The Bronzeback, I've heard a lot of good feedback from. I mean, I know it's Steve, and Steve has, quite the following, but I feel like I've heard mostly very strong, positive commentary on the Bronzeback.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to watch that one as well.
Yeah, I would definitely. I think it mellowed a bit since the trade show, so it's a little different.
Okay.
I've smoked it since. But it wasn't. My Emissary was my number 1 cigar at the trade show.
We sold 18 boxes of Emissary, and we are not a general store. Most of our customers loved it. Hey, I'm not arguing that. I just find that's interesting. I didn't like it, but I know that other people do. It could have been the cigars I had. I don't know. But that's interesting. So they sold 18 boxes of it. Most of the customers loved it.
Yeah, it's and how much they go back and reorder it's a big question, but
Oh no, yeah. Jay. Sorry. Jay goes, I bet you $1 million brought it. No, I'm not. That's not what I meant by that. Sorry. I know the conversation kind of got a little blended. I didn't mean it for that. I just meant in general, like across the board. You know, and I'm not even saying it's gonna necessarily just like that's a big one. I heard a lot of good feedback from it. I expect to see it on a lot of lists. Just because it seems most people really enjoyed it, so I see it performing well. But no,
Yeah.
I don't see it winning CA's number one. No, because that's just nothing
don't
against
either.
Steve, but I mean, I
No.
just don't see it going
No.
that way. I mean, I just
Yeah.
don't think.
I go back to that Conviction cigar, which is a $100 cigar that got a 94, which was one of the highest rated cigars in CA this year.
They gave it a 94.
They gave it a 94.
Okay.
We gave it a 91,
Okay.
which is 91 could get 91 is and like I said, it could go up. Like I've had a 91 get number 3 a few times. So
Okay.
you know what's interesting is was rated high by Cigar Aficionado this year. Perdomo 30th Sungrown.
The 30th
Got 93.
Sungrown, they got 93. So
Got a 93. Yeah.
we reviewed all three, and
I have the Sungrown to go still.
I want to say the Maduro scored the highest.
The Maduro is the higher of the two on mine.
Let me check.
But the Connecticut did really good.
Each one of them did. So Mitchell did one, D did one, and Kevin did one. Mitchell did the Maduro. He gave it a 93.
Yep, I gave it a 92.
D did Sungrown.
I haven't done Sungrown yet.
She did 92.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kevin did the 30th Connecticut. He gave it an 89.
I gave the Connecticut a 91. So 90 or above gets you on the Coop list most likely. 90 usually. Last year I had almost a shortage of 90s. I just had enough. This year there won't be a problem. There's more 90s, but there's much like the scoring range was a little wider this year.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I at this point I think that the Maduro and the Sungrown definitely both make the list. The Maduro is a strong contender for the very top of the list.
Maduro is a very strong contender for number one on my list too. Not a given. So Nick, don't get excited, but that was an incredible cigar.
Yeah,
I love the Maduro. I am on my second box of those already.
really.
So, 30 count box. Yeah.
Another one to watch that D reviewed gave a 92. The Don Pepin Vintage Edition.
I have that review coming up, and I've heard mixed things about it. Like, so I've seen some people really like it, and other people didn't. So that's coming up on Coop. That's one that's coming up. I think pretty soon. Actually, it's probably in August that review will go up. So I'm curious to see where it lies. And D's palette's pretty good, by the way.
Yeah, no, I know. So that's a solid score.
I usually agree with a lot of her stuff, by the way. I know D a long time, so yeah.
Yeah, so that's another one that's, on the higher end of scoring. I mean, once you get above like 91, that's when it's like, really? So
yeah.
You got two Perdomos and the Don Pepin Vintage that are all over 91 so far. So those are,
I have a Lancero that's in the contention.
Who?
I have the Aladino Classic.
Oh, that's right.
It got a 92. The other one that got a 92 was the Asylum Sensorium. Those are my three highest, and the Perdomo. Those are my three highest scoring cigars: the Aladino, the Asylum, and the Perdomo.
We did the Sensorium. Kevin did the Sensorium.
I know Kevin. I talked about it. It's very good, that cigar.
Yeah, where is that review? Because I'm like, yeah, what did he give that cigar? Oh yeah, right here. He did it in December.
Yeah.
So it's eligible for this year.
Yep. I'll tell you another cigar that did really good
90.
on Coop.
He did 90.
Yeah. That's good.
What else you got?
Tres Compadres got a 91.
We had that on our list last year, yeah.
It's friggin' amazing.
That's
I'll be honest. The Christoph Nicaragua didn't do it for me. But the Tres Compadres is a very unique cigar. That that belonged on a list. Like I said, the way we do it, it wasn't eligible, but it's 91's gonna land you. 91 guarantees you a spot on the Coop list because I don't even have a lot of 91s this year. Like I said, so I only have about I have three number 92s and 5 91s.
We are behind on our review cycle right now. Just because
one of those 91s is not eligible for the Coop list season, so it's actually 4 91s.
Ah, okay. Yeah, we've been behind on the review cycle this year just because everyone on the teams just had something kind of come up. So
there were no Coop reviews from the end of February till early May because of PCA.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of cigars reviewed. That now, if you notice, there's been a review on Coop almost every day because I've been able to start publishing the backlog. So it's just to publish a review in the middle of PCA stuff doesn't really pay for me. So
no, of course.
Yeah,
but yeah, so it's a little tricky. I'm hoping we can get a little caught up before the end of the year.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, these things happen. Which on a side note, open to just gonna throw this out there. Open to new members of the review team. It's going to be a very carefully selected process. But just gonna throw that out there. Anyone who's seriously interested in doing reviews and knows the time and work that it takes to do them, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I want to do it, and then they realize oh, I gotta sit down and write it, and it's and I do expect reviews done in a timely manner too, because I need to get them out. But anyone who's seriously into the idea can reach out and let me know. But again, it's going to be a very carefully selected process, and don't take it personal if I turn you down. It's not because I don't like you. It has to be the right fit. So that's just throwing that out there. Anyone listening who might be thinking about doing that, or already preferably someone who already has experience doing it too. That is also I do prefer someone who already has been doing reviews. But yeah, throwing that out there. Just to kind of help with the pace right now. So yeah. Anyway, just figured I'd toss that out there. But yeah. Oh, what's this comment? Jay Davis. FYI, on April 24th, CA said that it would be doing an emissary vertical on CI, but it hasn't happened yet.
There you go.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to see what that does, across all the lists this year.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who love it, and there's a lot of people who are like, meh. So I'm like, how does that even out? Curious. Very, very good. Did I know you don't follow Half Whale, but did any of the boys at Half Whale do it?
I don't know.
I feel like they would have by this point.
Yeah,
because I'm curious what they thought. You guys loved it. We were like, meh. So
I just Googled, and it looks like they reviewed the Perfecto.
Half Wheel?
And Half Wheel gave it, an 85. So there you go.
Yeah, see, so they didn't love. Oh yeah, right here, Magno Emissary España Perfecto, Half Wheel.
I will say this: I thought the Perfecto was the worst of the sizes.
And who did it? Let's see. Charlie. Okay, so Charlie did it. So,
yeah. But I thought the Perfecto of the 4 sizes was my least favorite. So I thought the Robusto was the best one. I thought the Toro was okay. I thought the Robusto was exceptional. And the other size was the Churchill, and I thought the Churchill was very good as well.
Did you happen to open Charlie's review, article on it?
I just scrolled down and looked at. I didn't read it.
No, but when you look at the photo, so he posts the pre-smoke photo.
Right.
If you look at the photo, it's not the photo he took. I mean, to be fair, they take great photos, because they're all fucking photographers. But look at the cigar itself. I'm looking at the cigar that they photographed for this, and it's just, I don't know. It's very like uneven looking, and
I have cigars that show up sometimes like that. It looks uneven, bent. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes that happens.
I'm just like, are they all like that? Was that maybe the one they got? It's just, I don't know. It looks like appearance wise, it doesn't look great. It looks very uneven, and I don't know, something about it. It looks like bent, like jagged. Wrapper looks okay, but like just the shape of the roll, I don't know. It looks,
Yeah.
interesting.
And supposedly there's more emissaries coming out. I think they're looking at France, Italy, were two that I heard were mentioned to me. I don't know when they're coming out. And my feedback to General was, please wait. Please don't hit us with the France or the Italy next year. Please wait, okay? Give this one, let's get this one in the market a little here more. This is
Right.
what I think what you're going to do is you're going to bastardize this one. If you come out with the France, let this one have a little time in the market, and then when you're ready, because if you introduce France now, I think it's going to cannibalize the España sales, which is Spain. Although I wouldn't mind having the Italy one out when I go to Italy. So, but
That's funny.
yeah.
Yeah, you're going to Italy soon.
Yeah. And by the way, if you haven't heard, the next bucket list is smoking in the Coliseum, because I have a bucket list.
I knew that
So
one.
I will be smoking.
Yeah.
I will, and it probably will be a Perdomo cigar, just so you know. I thought about a Toscano, but it's gonna be Perdomo because I got a little help from Janine on Italy, so I kind of think I owe that one to them. But I'll have pictures of me smoking Toscano, so I won't worry. So it'll probably be the 30th Maduro. I'll probably smoke there.
What was I gonna say? Sorry, I got sidetracked with this whole thing. We were talking about CA, and we were talking about just what's performing well. I mean,
Yeah, I think we're starting to reflect on like what cigars, like, because believe it or not, it's less than 90 days out. It's about let's see, August, September, October, almost maybe 100 days until the Coop cutoff happens for reviews. Now the cutoff for releases has already happened. So if you're releasing stuff now, it's next year. But if the cigar is reviewed by October 31st, it's eligible as long as it falls 2 years before the 4th of July. Well,
oh, here's another one that we reviewed that's eligible for this year. Davidoff's Year of the Dragon. Mitchell did it. Give it a 92. Did you do Year of the Dragon?
89. So I thought it was one of the better ones I've had in recent. Like, there hasn't been a good Zodiac cigar from Davidoff, in my opinion, since the Dog.
Okay.
So
what year
the
was
Dog made 2018.
Okay.
I think every one of them has missed. Tiger and Rabbit were atrocious misses. But this one was better. But it did fall a little short. But, that's not, we're not terribly far off point-wise. It's 3 points is not terrible.
And again, everyone does it different, too. That's the other thing. So, yeah, so there's another one that's top of the list. And Davidoff, got a Cigar of the Year out of us last year.
I have the Anniversario. I haven't got my Anniversario review done yet because it's a big smoke. And that's a time commitment.
You smoked it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's number one, but it's good. It's a good cigar.
Yeah.
But the one I smoked was the wooden tube one, which I'm not going to use for the review because I only had one of those.
Okay.
So I smoked the wooden tube one. I have a feel for what it is, but when I smoke the other side, the same size as outside the wooden tube, I don't know if it's going to be different or not. So I have some notes on that.
Oh, okay. Here's one. Jay Davis. My favorite from the show is currently the Hoya Medio Siglo. A lot of people like it, but some are meh. It's been the story for a lot of cigars right now. The people you
I like
like
that.
it, or you hate it. I don't think I smoked
I
it
like
yet. Do I have
now.
that in my stash?
I have a
I might
question.
have it.
It's not eligible, unfortunately, on the Coop list because it was already released internationally, and that's how it works. So unfortunately, it's outside the window, I believe. Yeah, but it's a good cigar.
Mitchell liked the Emissary. I remember that because I was with him when he smoked it. I'm pretty sure.
But there, Matt,
Or was that the bronze back?
in fairness, I'm being fairness to you. There was some, like I said, there were people. Loomis didn't like it either. I can tell you that. He didn't was at the show, but he didn't like it. Nielsen didn't like it.
Well,
Ben Bear, Tripp, Dennis, and I liked it.
Okay. Mitchell liked it. I don't think Kevin liked it. I don't think he did, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought he didn't like it. That's right. Mitchell did like it because I think Mitchell smoked it at the show.
Yeah,
Mitchell
I mean,
liked it.
So
Mitchell really liked the bronze back.
It was the bronze back was very good, but I think it lost a little strength from the show.
Okay.
So it's I think that took a little luster away from it because I think that's strength, but it's still very good. It didn't like just bomb out from the show. Yeah.
Emissary doesn't photo well. It's a claro-colored broadleaf. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, but Jay, it is a little bent in that picture. And I've had cigars. Particularly if you look at some Lanceros I reviewed, you can see that sometimes a little bent.
The new Davidoff Diadema re-release was exceptional. I have not had that one yet. I'll have to get on that. Oh, here's another one. Speaking of Davidoff Maduro. Did you smoke that?
Yeah, it's been hit or miss with me. I had one down in the DR. It was exceptional. I've had one up here. It was exceptional, and I had one, but I had that small one. It wasn't good. So I think it's a little size specific.
Honestly, I think that's where I'm at too. I think the small one was like meh. The larger ones were better.
Yeah. I don't think Davidoff does well with petite cigars. I got to be completely honest. Like I remember they did those petite sizes of the Yamasas and the Skuros, and they never did it for me. They don't. That's not their sweet spot. These like 4-inch cigars. They're better with the longer formats and a little more ring gauge.
Oh, here's an interesting one. I haven't had it yet. Mitchell said, I also really enjoyed the bronze, but yeah, I remember I smoked that with him. Well, I didn't smoke it, but I was with him when he smoked it in Las Vegas. Yeah, I remember he liked it. Have you all tried the Aganorsa Arsenio? I have not. It's on my list. Have you had it?
I smoked it. I smoked it at the trade show, and I thought it was good.
Okay.
So yeah, I thought it was good. Now the reason why I haven't smoked it is they said that Arsenio smoked. This was a blend of Arsenios in the Corona size. That's the size he had that blend originally made for, was a Corona size for him. And they released the Corona size, and that's the size I want to smoke and review.
Okay.
So, but I had a bigger one, and I thought it was a good cigar. And I've been a little critical of Aganorsa lately, so I thought that was a good cigar. It's a little pricey, but I thought it was good.
Yeah, Aganorsa I think has been due for like a real good release. I think the Arsenio is being really pushed as a big one for them, but and I haven't smoked it yet.
Aganorsa could come out with an Anniversario Corojo like every year. If they come out with a different size, chances are it's a new size that will land on the list on Coop because an Anniversario Corojo is a great blend.
Oh.
I mean, they just don't miss with that blend. Some of the other blends have not been as consistent, but that Anniversario Corojo is as good a cigar as any. I think it's been on the list 4 times on Coop. 4 different sizes that have made the Coop list. So I think very highly of the Anniversario Corojo blend.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the last couple of years, Aganorsa just... Not that I'm saying I think they did anything bad, but I just feel like, they haven't gotten a lot of big buzz,
there was a lot of... Yeah, and I got to say, the 100 ring gauge cigar had construction issues. I have another one. I'm going to try to smoke it, but it got destroyed because of construction issues. And the Asylum didn't have the construction issues, is what I'll say, the 90 that they do. And I reviewed both this year.
Are both of those eligible for your list?
Yeah, but they're not going to make it. They didn't get a score.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Mitchell had the Arsenio. Thought it was good as well. I
Yeah,
tried the Toro at the show. Yeah,
That's the size I tried. Yeah.
I think I have some in there. I have
Needed
to
a
go.
little, needed a little age. It needed a little age, but you could tell it was gonna be fine. I wasn't worried about that cigar. In fact, when I was on the Dojo cigar, Aganorsa got beat up on the stock market show they do, right? I actually gave Aganorsa. A lot of people say sell Aganorsa. I gave him a hold because I thought there was a lot of potential with this cigar, and I love the packaging design they did on that cigar. I think it was some of the best packaging that they did. To the detail of Arsenio having a little smoke ring come out on the O. They have a smoke ring which goes to the O on Arsenio, which I thought was brilliant. Some of the
Yeah, that is cool. I did see that.
yeah, I think they did a great. I mean, I just thought it was. I told and I beat Terrence up on packaging changes over the. Let me tell you, I've been beating him up on this. Okay, but they were relaunching the brand. I had no problem that they changed the packaging on this one. But I've been beating him up on all these packaging changes. So.
Jay, I don't disagree. Just a handful. A lot of
A lot of
disappointments.
Yeah, there's been a lot of lower scoring cigars this year. Like even though there's more 90s this year, there's a lower average score this year. For a while, it looked like 88 wasn't going to be the average score on Coop, but it's kind of climbed back a little over 88 now.
That's where it's been for us too. We've had a lot of 88s. I mean, it's
88's
funny you
average.
say
That's
that, and it's funny because we got to a point where we were like Mitchell had a lot of 88s, and we were like, all right, like what's going on here? Why does he keep dishing out 88s? And there was a couple where I was like, based on what he wrote, I'm like, I don't know, but after a while, I'm like, yeah, I mean. I guess it's an 88, but I'm just like, yeah, it just seems like there's a lot. And,
Yeah.
And now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, I kind of, I firsthand, yeah, I know. Like, the last, couple of reviews that he sent us that were, below 90, 88. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of 84s. So, I'll tell you, the cigar that was the biggest disappointment for me this year. And I love the company, and I love the people with the company. But it pained me to do it. La Polina 1948 was awful. I don't even know what this... I couldn't believe La Polina put out a cigar that bad this year. And it's not a cheap... And that La Polina 1948 is not a cheap cigar.
What was the score on that for you?
84 for a $24 cigar.
84, that's low. Yeah.
That's for a $24 cigar. Which cost me $72. I bought those cigars. So they got really they didn't do. That was probably the biggest disappointment of a cigar I had this year because I had La Polina's done pretty well on Coop, but that one was just a complete miss. The West Tampa stuff hasn't done well with me either.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
They have not cracked 90. They have not cracked 90. You guys didn't one make your list last year though?
One did. I can't remember which one it did. One.
But I think you said, but I think it was more of your team than you on that one.
The team, yeah. Me personally, no, but the rest of the team. So it got the votes for it. But
the other disappointment, the EP Carrillo Short Run 2023 Robusto got an 87. The short runs have always done good on Coop, right? That was the one they did with Oscar, and I had such high hopes for it. It just didn't deliver. And EPC's had a good year on Coop this year, so I don't want to say that was a definite. Pledge of Allegiance did very well on Coop. So they've had some good cigars this year. I like the black. That's coming. That review should be coming up. But that was a major disappointment for me. And the other one that didn't. The unicorn didn't do well. The black unicorn didn't do well. It got an 88, but that's a $100 cigar. You gotta keep in mind.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
Did you do the Brulee unicorn?
Yeah, the Brulee did much better. It got a 90.
Okay.
Yeah, the Brulee I did both. Papa Saka review hasn't come out yet. But I will tell you, the black unicorn was not as good as Papa Saka or Saka Khan.
Yeah, he did well with those. The Mi Querida Black is a very good blend, and I'm excited to see more sizes of that. Those were good. Those were really, really good.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, look, Saka makes good stuff. I mean,
yeah,
some better than others, but usually every year he's
Yeah.
got at least one or two that are really solid, and then the rest are pretty good. He usually doesn't have
Yeah.
anything that really sucks. It's usually most all favorable.
Yeah. An absolute sleeper of a cigar this year. It's actually a last year release the way I do it, but the Oz family Aramis. Aramis was great with that cigar.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that one.
Absolute sleeper of the year, and I say it because I don't know how more people are excited. More people should be excited about that cigar. That's a great cigar. It's gonna make the list. It got a 90, and you know what? And really, I looked at it. I said, I don't know why it didn't get a 91. I'm still trying to figure that out. But a couple nits here or there with a point, and I don't round up, so I truncate. So if you get 90.99, you're 90. So I gotta look see when the decimals came out with that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Mitchell, have you all tried the Wagashi? I enjoyed it, but I don't know if it's better than Brulee Blue. I haven't had it.
I did not. Steve, I'm sorry. Eric, I'm sorry. I did not like that cigar. But I'm going to review it fairly. I want to give it a clean slate and review it. But from what I had, it just, to me, it doesn't. I'd rather have a Brulee or a Brulee Blue over that cigar.
Yeah, the ones we got from the show, I think everyone on the team wanted them, and so I don't think I took any home. But so I haven't smoked it. But
yeah. You know what's going to make my list this year? Who hasn't made it in a long time? It's Fuente. Fuente's going to make the list this year.
They were on our list
got a couple.
year. They were number 2.
They got a couple. Yeah, Ida Bull and Sophisticated Hooker did very well. So they haven't been on my list in a while. It's tough because a lot of times those cigars come out and then you can't get them and then the window expires, right?
Yeah.
I was able to get my hands on those cigars this year, which was a little easier.
Yeah, we had Eye of the Bull at number 2 last year, and I think the year before that or 2 years ago.
Yeah, really good. Really good cigar. It's a really good cigar.
Beso, I think, was number 2. So they've gotten a couple number 2s from us.
Dude, here's my idea. I should have told Carlitos the other day. Big Bull. Do the Big Bull. Right?
Yeah.
Do a big bowl, or do the tall bowl or something like that. Make it longer. I think that cigar will be so much better in a slightly larger format. It's too small. It's too small. It's thick enough, but it's not long enough.
How long?
3.5. It's firecracker. It's like a firecracker length.
No, I mean, how long do you think it should be? Like
I would go to a Robusto. A 5x55 or 5.5x55 would work with that. I don't think you need to go.
Okay.
Like Sophisticated Hooker was interesting because I suspected this with the Rare Pink series that it would perform better in the bigger sizes, and it did. So Sophisticated Hooker did the best, and that cigar was a 7.25 by 53. So that's longer and thicker than some of those other ones. And the other one that was really good was the thick Perfecto they did. The Queen of Hearts. That was Jose likes that size. Jose likes that size, and that's not a size he would gravitate to. Jose and I were smoking those in Tampa, and he's like, "Coop, I really like this. I know this is hard to believe because he had smoked it for the first time with me when I was down there. He had not smoked that size."
Jay Davis, I know he won't make it, but I want a Micarita Black Lonsdale. Yeah, I would do that.
Well, I like those too. I would do it. I would do it. Yeah, Steve does well with that Lonsdale size.
I think we all agree on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He does well with that size.
Now he's got me thinking about it.
Yeah, I would.
And next time I talk to Steve, I'm going to be like, Steve, Lonsdale, and I'll get this long-winded. Well, I experimented with the blend, and it's like, I feel like it would be good.
I'm doing Lanceros. Don't you guys ever happy?
I think he's right though. Yeah, Lonsdale. I think that cigar would really perform.
I think that's a cigar performs like. I thought Saka Khan. I was not high on it at first. It came around a lot.
Yeah, I had to sell you on
that. And I'm higher on the Saka Khan than Papa Saka. So that's what you're talking about. My head's at. I haven't put the Papasaka review out yet. It's good, the Papasaka, but the Saka Khan has aged out really good. And I think the other thing is the batch he did for JR was not as good as the batch he did with the Black Label line. He did a JR release of that originally.
Yes. Like for
And
the 80th or
it didn't
something? Was that the 80th anniversary? Yeah.
50th.
The 50th. Sorry. Yeah, I knew it was a big one. Yeah. Yeah, I remember you had said that before. I never had any of those ones, so I can't say. But we had that conversation.
Yeah. Oh, First That was really good too by Mitch.
Yeah.
Look, Ben's been smoking them as well, and he likes them. That was one of my top 5 at the trade show. I thought that was a banger by Oz. The Bosphorus didn't really do it for me. I'll be completely honest, but the Aramis and the First That really did it for me.
Yeah, he's been doing well. He's a
good guy. He's a really good guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those do well, and he's been doing good, and it's good to see that too. I mean, I know he was out for a while, he came back, but yeah, he's been doing good.
I was telling Miguel a little story, like, those cigars, they have a story of his family and his heritage, right? And, when I started reading the stories about each of these cigars, it actually got me to a point, and I said this on the show to Miguel, where, I wanted to research a little more about that region of the world and, a little about Armenia, a little about Turkey and, the geography, the history. It got me, just from smoking that cigar, it got me interested enough to do that.
Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff that I've been in that same boat. I've been in that same boat with a lot of stuff. It's funny. I feel like it could be an industry thing based on like what's just being made. It also could be like a personal thing, palate or whatever. But yeah, I feel like I kind of like reflect on like what I've been smoking over the last like 5 years, right? And I remember like 2019, I can tell you like sizes and blends and companies where I was like, okay, they were all similar. I'm like, oh, like I really like this kind of stuff from like all these people. And then like you go like another year or two, and it's like it completely changed. And all of a sudden there was like other brands where I like navigated into, and I'm like, oh, like,
yeah.
And then it's always changing, and I don't know if it's just me or if it could be it's probably a combination of everything. But like yeah, like I discover things, and I'm just like, oh, and I kind of just go like a completely different direction. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. This year has been, I would say, as a smoker, it's been an interesting year. I feel like I haven't really carved out enough stuff where I was like, there's a trend and there's a, whatever. It's been very all over the place for me this year. I don't know.
If you're gonna give me that, if someone's gonna, not you, but if someone gives me that cliche, never a better year for cigars, I have a lot to say about that. It hasn't been a great year. It hasn't been a terrible year. It's not been
like average.
It's gone. Like I thought last year was a little better. Like I think we've been in a little bit of a downward spiral the last 4 or 5 years in general. So I think it's gonna pick up. But yeah, I thought it was a pick up late last year, and it doesn't seem like it happened.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah,
I was like, what you just said made a lot of sense, because I think I was in the same boat. I was like, oh, but yeah, it hasn't really gotten. I was hoping for like this big change. I don't know. I was still kind of like,
yeah.
There's some stuff that's good. A lot of stuff I'm like,
Yep.
But it hasn't been. There hasn't been a lot of stuff that's similar with like a trend where. Whether it's a size or a tobacco or whatever. Everybody's just kind of all over the place, I feel like, right now.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really hard to like group some stuff together this year, which I feel like I haven't had that issue before.
Right.
And now I'm like, everything's all over the place.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I mean that's just kind of the gist of, I guess, what we've been smoking and where we're at with the industry so far. And we've kind
Yep.
of done this
Yep.
every year. We, halfway through, we kind of reflect on what we've seen, what we've had, what we liked, what we didn't.
Yeah.
And now, as we get to into the second half of the year, those conversations will continue. But yeah, it's going to be another. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad year, like end of the year wise. But I feel like it's going to be another tricky year. I don't know. That's just me.
It's just not gonna be the best.
Yeah.
The years of like 2013 and 14, which were great years, are not here right now. That's what I'm saying.
No, come
But
back.
we've been in. I think we've been like Coop scoring's gone down 4 or 5 years in a row. Is what I'm saying. So it's not because, and we haven't changed the algorithm. So that's what I'm saying. It hasn't. My scoring has gone down for whatever reason.
Yeah. No, I kind of see that trend too.
Yep.
Yeah, and Joe Seymour made a comment here. This year has been up and down year for cigars. Yeah, it has. It's up, it's down, it's
Yep.
I don't know what it is, but anyway,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the time here, and we're approaching our 2-hour mark, and
I think we're at the 2 mark. Yeah, I think it's time to wrap up.
I think so. I think that's our show for this week. That was another episode of the Spare Notes series.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning
Yep.
in. Thanks for listening and watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all of our channels, on YouTube, everywhere you can find your podcast. And don't forget to visit smokingtobacco.com for more news, reviews, and updates on the cigar industry. Coop, as always, thanks for being here with me tonight. It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Yep.
And that'll do it. So we'll see you on Wednesday night. Take care, everybody.